What's poppin', chocolatizers? So, on this channel, guys will be seeing me doing a Chucky recap for Chucky season 2 every week because I am a huge Chucky fan. I'm a huge Chucky fanatic, and honestly, I haven't seen enough, like, if I'm gonna be honest, recaps of the episodes. So, I'm gonna do it myself because what the fuck not? I set prayer on this shit. Oh. Anyways, it's about to be it's gonna be a weekly kind of thing, and it's gonna be really, really fun and really cool. And with that being said, let's get into it with the first episode. This is also gonna be a two-parter because the second episode came out this week. Two-parter. Let's go. Let's get it. So the first episode starts off literally right after the cliffhanger that the first season left off us on, with Andy in the van driving away with Tiffany holding the gun like, "Let's go! Drive where I tell you to go! Son, Japan!" So, and then like, they introduce like these like ball-headed characters, like there's like my favorite one out of those three were the ball-headed Chuckies. And so like they're bickering back and forth, Chucky doing his thing, and eventually Andy overpowers them and he like shoots Tiffany's head clean the fuck off. Like off, and then he drives the van off the cliff. And we would presume him to be dead, but I don't think he's dead because we don't see his body. I don't think him or Kyle are dead actually because we don't see their body. In horror movies, if we don't see their body, they're not dead, So we're gonna keep going on with that, and then then it jumps into because Chucky left people orphans. That's not funny. That's not funny. But Chucky was really making kids orphans. So because of that, the Jake and Devin have to go into the foster care system, and they're like saying goodbye to each other. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna miss you," and it's really really cute actually. It's really really cute. And then Devin's just like, "Jake, don't," in the middle of in the middle of the road, all dramatic. Jake, and Jake's like, "Stop the car! Stop the car!" And he's like, gets out, and he's like, "I love you." Mwah. It's like it's so melodramatic, but they kiss. It's so cute though. At the same time, I'm like, wow, why can't I have someone kiss me like that? Why can't I have someone love me like that? But anyway, that's fine. Life be like, whatever. And then they cut into like where Jake's at with his foster care system, and he has like this little brother, and his little brother is actually like, he's very much into Robin. He's like, "Oh, gee, wowzers, Batman!" I'm like, "Oh, this is so cute." And next thing you know, Chucky, of course, Chucky's gonna get involved in this shit. He like not pranks called them, but calls them as like, "Is Tabitha home or Tamara?" I don't understand if that was a reference to something or not. And if it was, I'm a horrible Chucky fan for not getting that. But he essentially like he does this whole thing of just like, I want to say he like was doing a lot of foreplay to get them together because he like was like at Lexi's house where it shows that she was this girl's doing drugs. Let's just say that. No, actually, let's actually say there's no ifs to say she's doing drugs. Like, so she's like going down like a little path, just like after trauma, she's dealing with this, and Chucky's like in their house, and they're like all on FaceTime. They're like on a group shared FaceTime, and I'm like, why the fuck does Chucky have a phone with FaceTime right now? He's really FaceTiming these kids right now, no cap. And because of that, Devin and Jake are just like, we have to get together now. We have to go protect Lexi. Chucky's back. He's trying to steal Jeffrey. We got to take him down. We got to take him down. We got to take him down. The boss man. We got to take him down. Kind of vibes. And with that being said, it's sort of like once that happens, then we get into like the sequence of the mother, who we thought had died in the first one. Well, actually, no, she was just trampled she deserved, because let's be real, if you remember, she left her kid after she found out her husband was dead, and she got trampled over for a good reason. That's life telling you to probably be a better person, bitch. Anyway, we cut in, and they're at therapy session with I forget the little girl's name. Caroline, that's her name. With Caroline, and the therapist is just like, let's try exposure therapy. Because for some odd reason, everyone loves to do exposure therapy before everyone's ever ready for exposure therapy. And what I do love is that the writers, Don Mancini gave Caroline the Tiffany doll that was originally in the first Bride of Chucky, Which led me to questions because later when Lexi and Jake and Devin were all together and they're just like, oh my god, because like Lexi was beating the fuck out this doll. She was like, no, don't trust dolls because PTSD, and also reasonably so. I wouldn't trust dolls either. Um, they made a reference of like, oh, that's from the Bride of Chucky. So I don't know whether it's canon or not in if Bride of Chucky is canon within the Chucky universe. If so, that's kind of weird, and I don't really like that. Because I know they were like for Jennifer Tilly, they were making a Chucky movie, etc. So I know there has to be reasons for that. I just don't like the fact that like it was, yeah, that was confusing to me, and I didn't like that. It was a little off. But anyway, I digress. So, Jesus. So as this episode's like coming to a close, and like oh yeah, also I cannot forget this. And then also she's trying to the mom's trying to run for mayor again, but he was just like, why should we trust you? Because like, we had a lot of serial killings when you were in office. What makes you think you should get my vote? And then she's trying to like gaslight the situation, and she's like, I've been through it too, and I feel the guilt, the survivor's guilt, of course, and we should I will have I will have justice for zero tolerance for like first offenders. And like she's just like, I'm not gonna lie, she's giving very shitty mom energy, and I don't like that. I'm like, okay, and she's kind of disregarding her kids in the worst way possible. And anyway, this episode ends off with Chucky coming to the house with Jake's little foster brother. And Jesus and this little kid. This poor little kid's just like, gee wowzers, Batman, we made a bomb! And I'm like, kid, this is not a joke. What about this? It's like, gee wowzers, Batman! And Jake's just like, oh my god. What's going on? And reasonably so. And then he's just like, we're gonna wait for Lexi to come downstairs. Meanwhile, Lexi is getting high as fuck in her house, like in the bathroom. And just like, we're just gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Jake texts Lexi. I don't think she even looked at them because she just like, when she went downstairs, she was high as hell and was just like, whoa, what's going on? Like, girl. My thing is, for one, and then after this, fucking Devin tases Chucky. My question: why didn't he tase him sooner? Because when he tases this motherfucker flies. He flew. Like my antelope. He had wings, Miss Mama. Why didn't you do that sooner? And then try to get and then the little kid grabs a bomb, and I don't know, he was trying to dispose of it or like throw it away, but then he gets distracted by the Tiffany doll. And then he stops. And then Chucky's just like, because Chucky was on a kamikaze mission. Because there's several of them now. We don't know how many survived that the fall of that truck. And I'm pretty sure a lot. Like, it wasn't 72, but if it damn sure ain't 10, So it's like, we don't know. So like that, he has multiples of them. So like now he has people for different missions, and this one was a kamikaze Chucky, and he's just like, ha! I'm gonna take someone out with me, And he was trying to take them all out together, and it ends off with them and the therapist from Caroline's session, who I don't know whether she's in the loops with Chucky or not, but she has that Tiffany doll. We'll wait and see, because she ends up like convincing the police to not send them to juvie, instead send them to. Part of me really wants to say nun school, but it's not a nun school. It's a Catholic school, like where like a rehabilitation school. To say. A rehabilitation school, but it's mainly like for Catholics, and it's like you pray the gay, not pray the gay away. Oh my god! Stop. Pause. Like you pray away your sins and confess and shit like that. So I think that's kind of where they're going with that. And then we end off on this episode with them at the school, and they're just like, whoa, what's happening? But the funny part is, this is also the same orphanage that became the orphanage. It was an orphanage that Charles E. Ray had went to when he was a kid. But they turned it into a school for, I don't know, delinquents who need to find God. That sounds accurate. That sounds right. And then it ends off the episode with Chucky like getting mailed into there. And so that's then the first episode, which leaves a little bit more lore for what is yet to come. And I'm really excited. And then, which also leads into our second episode, which is a lot more, we get a lot more answers. Questions answered. Yeah, that's the word. That's the word. So without further ado, let's get into the second episode.